DeMarcus Cousins just got traded to the New Orleans Pelicans. Just 1 month ago, I said he was a top 5 player in the league currently. Top 25 current NBA players. People really don't listen. At number 3, DeMarcus Cousins. At number 2, Anthony Davis.
If you put LeBron James at number 1, you're a Cavs bandwagon fan. You didn't put LeBron James number 1? You're obviously a LeBron James hater.
Internet logic. I hate LeBron James with a passion, but you need to kill yourself. LeBron is the best player. Kill yourself. Quit YouTube. Worst list ever. Well, guys, I guess I'm quitting YouTube. But don't worry, I'll join back 1 month later and ride somebody's wave to the top. More of the story here is I think DeMarcus Cousins is the 3rd best player currently in the league, and Anthony Davis is the 2nd best player currently in the league. The best power forward and center in the league currently on the same team.
That's absolutely amazing. This completely changes the game of basketball as we know it.
Why is that, you say? Well, that's because there's 20 plus NBA teams that play small ball.
And when you have these players such as Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins, both futuristic bigs, I guess you can say, bigs that can stretch the floor, bigs that can shoot the 3, bigs that can post up, this is the way the NBA is going. And it's kind of great. Even though if I wouldn't want my big shooting 3s and playing the point guard, I want him in the paint, getting rebounds, blocking shots, posting up. But hey, I guess having good ball handling skills and shooting 3s, it's more power to you and more power to your team. Speaking of more power to your team, by adding DeMarcus Cousins with Anthony Davis, these teammates are now the first ever teammates to put up 20 points per game and 10 rebounds per game since David Robinson and Tim Duncan. Last year, Anthony Davis put up 24.3 points per game, 2 blocks, 1.3 steals, 1.9 assists, and 10.3 rebounds. And this year, he's on pace, upping the points, upping the rebounds, upping the assist, upping every single stat line. The same thing can be said with DeMarcus Cousins. Last year, he averaged 26.9 points per game, 1.4 blocks, 1.6 steals, 3.3 assists, and 11.5 rebounds. The only thing that dropped from last year's is his rebound. He's averaging 1 less rebound a game, but everything else has went up with Boogie as well. The important question here is, can't they continue to average 20 plus points per game and 10 plus rebounds per game now that they're on the same team? And honestly, I think they can. Look at the rest of the roster of the New Orleans Pelicans. They're straight cheeks. The core of DeMarcus Cousins and Anthony Davis, they're going to be a problem, big fella. So to my surprise, when a straw poll on Real GM happens, saying, do you expect the Pelicans to eventually win a title with Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins? And 69% say no, they're not going to win with the core of both players? It has me baffled. You have the 2nd and 3rd best player currently in the league. But just because you have the 2nd and 3rd best player in the league currently doesn't guarantee you anything. It doesn't guarantee you a championship, and I could see what people are getting at. Especially, like I said, looking at the rest of this roster this year, they're going to need to make a lot of moves in the offseason and trade away some overpriced assets such as Solomon Hill. They'd be lucky, in my opinion, to get to the 8th seed in the Western Conference, or even the 7th seed in the Western Conference. And as a Spurs fan, I'd get pretty scared if they got to that 7th seed, considering the Spurs absolutely suck at playing against bigs, and the Warriors should be scared too, considering they don't necessarily have a big. But winning isn't going to happen overnight. It's going to take some time, and if done correctly, I can easily see this New Orleans Pelicans team winning an NBA championship in the future if they keep these guys together. Here are 4 things that the New Orleans Pelicans desperately need to do if they want to continue on the path of being a great NBA organization, because they haven't really had much success being one, and winning an NBA championship. First, fire Alvin Gentry. I ran a Twitter poll saying, how many years do you think before Alvin Gentry gets fired? A lot of you guys said this offseason. A bunch of you guys are savages. I give him realistically a year before he gets fired with this organization. Alvin Gentry just doesn't have a track record of coaching good teams. His best win record with the team is 54 wins. The second best, 40 wins. I'm not sure if this is a popular or unpopular opinion going off the Twitter poll, but I personally feel like Alvin Gentry is one of the most overrated coaches in the league currently. But then again, if you do fire him, what coach do you pick up? I mean, there's guys like Mark Jackson that are doing commentary, along with Jeff Van Gundy as well, and Kevin McHale. But do these guys really want to give up their TNT ESPN jobs to coach a team like this? I mean, they got 2 of the best players in the league on the team, so I would definitely think about it if I were them. The second step they got to do is trade their disgusting contracts, such as Solomon Hill. They're going to be doing a lot of pick and roll with Drew Holiday, and they might actually even question whether or not if they want to re-sign him or trade him away if they do sign him to an extension, considering he's not
the best point guard when it comes to health. He's a solid player, but when it comes to health over the past few seasons, he hasn't been reliable. So they're definitely taking a chance if they do decide to sign Drew Holiday long-term with a juicy contract. The third step, once you've found a team that is stupid enough to take the contracts that you have offered, and then go out and sign some shooters. They desperately need shooters, so once they get double teamed in the post, they can kick it out and shoot the 3-ball at that shooting guard or small forward position. The shooting guard and small forward positions are really weak right now for the New Orleans Pelicans, but nothing an off-season move or off-season signing will do to help this New Orleans Pelicans team get stronger at that position. Lastly, the fourth step is to sign John Wall. A lot of people want Chris Paul back in the New Orleans Pelicans team, but he's getting kind of old, and I'm not sure if they're able to compete at this moment. I think the Clippers are still a better opportunity for Chris Paul, and realistically, I know Chris Paul and maybe John Wall will never come to the New Orleans Pelicans, but one can hope, right? So once you're done hoping and you're not able to sign either of these two players, go out and try to sign another big-time free agent to form a big three, because the past few championships weren't won with duos. Last year, it was LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Love. The year prior, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and I guess Draymond Green. Usually it takes more than two good players to win championships, and history does not lie. The DeMarcus Cousins trade to the New Orleans Pelicans was absolutely amazing, and probably the most exciting trade at trade deadline in 2017. On paper, this should catapult the New Orleans Pelicans these next few years, and it gives a chance for the Sacramento Kings to rebuild finally. With that said, what 4 things do you feel like the Pelicans need to do to become playoff contenders and championship contenders at that in the next few years? Do you agree or disagree with the things I've said in this video? Let me know in the comment section below, and let me know what kind of milk you prefer, chocolate or vanilla, because it's better than telling me to kill myself. Click on some of the other videos, and I'll talk to you guys in the next.